It is essentially the idea is when does a hobby become like
Okay.
an idol, essentially, right?
No,
Like
yeah, I remember
when
seeing that
does a
now.
hobby become idolatry? If you're a believer, if you're not a believer, if you're not a Christian, then this doesn't matter. But if you are, like, then there's a real question that I have of like
Okay,
when
so
does, and even if you're not a Christian, the question could be reworded to essentially like when does a hobby become a distraction, or when does it go too far, or when does it take over your
yeah, 'cause
identity,
I s
right? There's a lot
I
of
saw
different
when
ways you could word it.
I saw when you posted that, and I had to read it a few times, and I was like, "I'm not sure really what he's asking here." So, like, are you asking, like, when does a hobby come where, like, you may be, like, idolizing that hobby or, like, you putting that hobby on a pedestal over stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah. When does it become the most important thing? Or when does it become more important than what should be the most important thing? Like, for example, it doesn't even have to be the thing that we've met through, right? V friends. Like, at what point does a man's time spent playing Call of Duty affect his marriage? At what point do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I mean, I would the answer
when does the thing become too much, essentially? And I mean, it's a different answer for every person, but like, what do you think for you it would be?
it's crazy. It's the way to answer that could be answered in a million ways,
Right, of course.
but
Yeah.
I just feel like
Like I said, it's going to be different for every person.
you have to
So,
like, when you have a hobby, I'm prime example, you gotta moderate it at some point. Like, you can't be everything that you wake up, think about, even though you do, but you don't need to put like, thinking about it's cool, but just, like, that's all you do is get on, like, whatever you're into and just, like, deep dive all the time and, like,
sure.
you then, like, basically you're not taking care of your outside stuff, like, when you're putting, things off that need to be done, or, like, if you had say you're in school and you're over there worrying about Pokemon, V Friends cards, Disney cards, and you have a test tomorrow and you're on
Right.
Whatnot, but you
Right.
can't get off Whatnot. But I think somehow what causes problems is when that hobby becomes something that people start getting that itch because they want that big hit and they chasing something just
Yeah.
like gambling.
It's
You're
dopamine, right?
chasing something. Yeah, you get that dopamine hit, and it's fun to get on Whatnot, and you feel like you can cut up with people and this and that, but when does it become a distraction? And some people get caught up because they spend a lot of money on this, and they're chasing to make that money back. So it becomes a distraction where they put things off because they're like, "Man, I gotta pull this card so I can sell it, and I can do this,
Right.
or I can, or
Well,
not
it's
just card, but
especially
any."
when you're living it from that perspective, it literally is the same thing as going to the casino.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it boils.
is gambling. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's literally
you're
what it
throwing
is.
in. So, like,
Now, if you're collecting for the sake of collecting, that's different. If you're looking at it from the perspective that you just spoke on, though, then that's literally gambling. Like, I need to do this again because I didn't get anything the first time. I need to get something so I can get my money back. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
guess
I
it's,
need to rebuy into that Hold'em tournament because I need to make my money back. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
it's
it's
the
the
same.
same
Yeah, it's the
idea,
same
same
thing. You're
concept.
trying to, and then you get that card. Say you do get a big card. I mean, you didn't. We're probably guilty of it. We get that big card, you flip it, and we go right back into it again.
Right, right. You
And
don't
then you're
keep
like,
that
"Oh
money.
crap!
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just, I just the $300 I made on that card. I just went back into three breaks and got
Yeah.
$5 worth of cards now, and now I'm back to square one again, stressing." So, I guess when it happens when I feel like it happens and you don't even know it happened.
That's exactly right.